This is News 8 at 10 on MyTV9.
If you had to travel today, you probably saw a lot of this slushy, wet snow, and it's not over. We got your back tonight with the latest conditions around the state and the next round of winter weather that is headed our way. Hi, everybody. Glad you're here tonight. I'm Darren Kramer.
I'm Ann Nyberg. Snow, and more snow. Lots of folks had a tough time getting around the state today. Kyla has your forecast. Bob Wilson is in Hartford, where they're experiencing some big budget problem because of all the snow. But first, here's Kyla.
Yes, and as you can see, there's still blue behind me, everybody. We still have folks in the state seeing some light snow, albeit you don't see the darker blues now, but still, it just keeps rolling. And as you can see, it's kind of coming in from our south and from our west, so we will see this start to move out completely tonight, but it is trickling and taking its time. But just to show you on the hour-by-hour forecast, as it rolls on through here, we get through the night, we start to clear out, and not only do we lose the snow, but we're going to get some sunshine in there. You start to see those clear skies in the afternoon. Temperatures right now in the teens and 20s, 23 in Bridgeport, 20 in Meriden, 19 in Willimantic, and 23 in Chester. You can see Windsor Locks about 20 degrees and Greenwich sitting at 23. So we're all roughly about the same place. The wind speeds, though, have not relented, still kicking up anywhere from about 8 miles per hour in Danbury to 17 miles per hour up in Windsor Locks. So that means that we've got that wind gusting around, blowing some of that snow around, and also making it feel a lot cooler. In fact, it feels like single digits in much of the state right now. So that's your feels like temperature. When you walk out the door, in order to get in the teens, you'd have to come down onto the coastline. Well, we are looking out for a clear Tuesday. We're going to get some sunshine and some 30s, so even a little bit of melting in there, but we're on the lookout for another clipper system that could come in and bring us some snow on Thursday. So we're tracking that. We'll talk more about that in my full weather forecast. And serious cold, and boy, I can't emphasize this enough, coming to us on Friday, the coldest air of the season that we've seen so far. Dangerous cold, and it will last right through your Valentine's Day weekend. So I'll also give you timing on that. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. Let's go out to Bob Wilson. He's spending the evening finding out just how much snow has taken up residents, and I can hear it on the microphone there. Bob, how you doing?
Yeah, it's cold, but you know what? It is cold. The snow is letting up. It's kind of gone. The streets are under control, but the snow budgets aren't. They base their budgets on the past 10 years. It's an average of storms over the past 10 years, and anything in the last 2 weeks has been anything but average, as the snow has just come continuously, it seems like, straight through, and they have chewed through that snow budget as they chew through the snow. Now, interestingly here, the city of Hartford has gotten down pretty low. They're almost out. As a matter of fact, they're tapping the bottom of the barrel on that one, and they're not alone. Other cities having the same problem, but the mayor says he's meeting with the DPW to see exactly what they need to get them through the rest of the winter.
The mayor and DPW are going to meet this week to talk about that snow hauling operation and see what it all comes down to. Because keep in mind that, you know, we have over 60,000 commuters who come into the city every day. We have to get rid of the snow.
And that is one of the biggest problems for the big cities like New Haven, also facing the same problem. Their budget's down to almost zero, and the state is about $3 million away from its budget. We'll tell you coming up on News 8 at 11 what they plan to do. And also, there's a warm spot that's melting the snow and not the budget. We'll tell you about that also coming up on News 8 at 11. I'm Bob Wilson reporting live in Hartford, News 8.
All right, thanks so much. Let's take a look at the snow around the state. This is video from Hartford, a thick layer of slush and ice, headache for folks trying to get home.
All right, here's a look in Norwich, too. One woman got her car stuck in a snowbank at the bottom of her driveway from snow pushed in by city snowplows. Norwich police say a parking ban is in effect there until further notice.
Another snowstorm, another round of complaints from UConn students who claim the school dropped the ball on getting the sidewalks and roadways clear. UConn says they kept up with the weather as best as they could, and they say if students are not comfortable getting to class, faculty has to accommodate them.
We've had our mess here, but in Boston, it is a whole lot worse. And if you're trying to take Amtrak to Boston, you're going to want to be careful with that, too.
It's possible that Amtrak could even curtail service from New Haven to Boston because of the heavy snow in the Boston area. Commuter trains in the city have been stopped. As always, make sure to check the service before you head out.
All right, some things to keep in mind as we brave this latest round of snow and the very cold weather headed our way. Remember to make sure you clear your sidewalks and your driveways. If you don't take care of the sidewalk, you could be fined. And if your driveway isn't clear and you use oil heat, it might not be possible for the oil trucks to come and deliver. Also, if you have to travel, be sure you're stocked up. Experts say you should have at least half a tank of gas in case you get stuck, along with things like a shovel and some ice melt.
And be sure to download our new Weather Edge app for your smartphone, and you can get the latest online anytime on our website, WTNH.com.
After some arrests, the Hartford fire chief now apparently has warned his employees when Hartford police will be holding drunk driving checkpoints. The fire chief, Carlos Huertas, alerted firefighters in an email warning them that a checkpoint was up on Brainerd Road. The department has been embarrassed by a series of on and off duty alcohol related events in the last 18 months or so. Huertas told the Hartford Courant he hasn't sent out an email like that before, but says he thought it would be, quote, informative to do so now.
The Norwich school bus driver accused of driving under the influence has not made bond. 30-year-old Edwin Gonzalez has been behind bars since Friday. Authorities say his bus sideswipes an SUV, that he also went the wrong way down a one-way street with 7 special needs students on board. His blood alcohol level was 0, but authorities are checking for any drugs that may have been in his system.
It's definitely very worrisome. I have a niece and a nephew that, take the school bus every day. So it's definitely frightening to hear stories such as that.
I was absolutely appalled. I don't understand why there are not better background checks done.
Gonzalez has one conviction from 2004 for sale of a controlled substance. The Plainfield man accused of taking a sled full of children on a dangerous joyride was arraigned. Police say he was pulling the kids on a sled behind his pickup truck at high speeds. 40-year-old Michael Chauvin is charged with risk of injury and reckless endangerment. Police have arrested the men responsible. Go ahead, Darren.
Yeah, for the shooting of a New Haven mother, and they say they did it for a gang initiation. The man you'll see here on the left, David Neiman. Police say broke into the victim's apartment January 31st and shot her in the leg as she tried to get out. Her 3 children, all under the age of 5, outside with their father in the car. Police found and arrested Neiman after he told a woman he was on a date with about the shooting. The date then called police. When they arrested him, they found out the victim's boyfriend and the father of the children, Terquentin Fulton, had set her up. He was arrested yesterday, both being charged with assault and home invasion. A New Haven bar manager facing charges of animal cruelty after police say he allowed cockfighting in the basement of the bar. Police say Tano's Cafe International on Grand Avenue has been under investigation for months for health and building code violations. Officials tell News 8 there was a well-built cockfighting ring in the basement. A neighbor tells us he never suspected that anything illegal was going on.
It sort of surprised me, but I know that the chickens was there, but the chickens was never a problem or anything like that. As a matter of fact, sometimes the chicken would get out and come into our yard, which was no problem at all.
Suspect now facing 8 counts of animal cruelty, 1 for each rooster in his possession.
Police say they are holding a teenage killer who took a selfie with his victim. That's coming up at 10. How police say the teenage killed a classmate and sent out a photo on Snapchat.
The leader of Germany spent the day at the White House talking about what to do about the crisis in Ukraine.
We've been talking about Boston. We'll show you what they're dealing with up there. They're trying to dig out of a lot of snow. Here's meteorologist Kylie Grotman.
You're going to like tomorrow's forecast, but I can't promise you're going to like the cold that's coming to us later in the week. It's extreme cold. I'm going to time it out for you when we come back with my full weather forecast.
All right, Kylie, coming up here tonight on News 8 at 11, another death blamed on those faulty airbags we've been telling you about. We'll show you what happened and what to look out for tonight on News 8 at 11.
You're watching News 8 at 10 on MyTV9.
A Pennsylvania teenager is locked up tonight accused of shooting and killing a classmate and then taking a selfie with the body.
Police say 16-year-old Maxwell Morton shot 16-year-old Ryan Mangan in the face, then took a picture with his body and sent it out through Snapchat.
It definitely makes it harder not being able to know what really happened and not being able to ask him and not being able to talk to him.
Police say the shooting was not random. A motive, though, has not been released.
A 13-year-old boy in Chicago shot and killed over the weekend. Police say it was over a Facebook post. Police say Anthony Diaz was shot in the chest as he was going to back his sister up in a fight with some other girls over something posted on Facebook. Police say the victim recorded the whole fight on a cell phone. Still not clear what that video shows. So far, no arrests have been made.
Arab nations are stepping up military action against ISIS. Jordan has sent in just under 24 warplanes and dropped 70 bombs on ISIS targets in Syria in just a matter of hours and has killed one of their pilots. The U.S. has conducted more than 80% of the airstrikes so far, but other nations are now jumping in to help. President Obama is going to ask Congress this week for a vote to authorize the use of force against ISIS. And President Obama also meeting with German Chancellor Angela Merkel about the crisis in Ukraine and whether to send arms to the government there to fight against pro-Russian rebels. Merkel and other European leaders strongly oppose this approach. They say they do not want to start a war with Russia.
I've always said I don't see a military solution to this conflict, but we have to put all our efforts in bringing about a diplomatic solution.
Obama is looking at all options. More than 5,300 people have been killed since April in the fighting in eastern Ukraine. 1 million people have been displaced.
A lot of us here tired of all this snow, but think about the folks in Boston. They have gotten 74 inches of snow in less than a month.
Think about it. That's more than Washington, Baltimore, Philly, and New York City combined. There's no place to put all of this snow as it just keeps coming down, and there's more in the forecast. So the city is melting it. But even though they can get rid of up to 350 tons of snow an hour, they still have their hands full.
State plows had moved enough snow to fill Gillette Stadium 90 times.
Think about that for a second. The next idea is to dump the snow into Boston Harbor. All public transit is halted for tomorrow, including the T, and schools are closed.
Yeah, it's kind of deja vu, too. 2 years ago today, here in Connecticut, we were hit by that blizzard of 2013. What a storm that was. You remember, that's some of the video we shot that day as our area was digging out from that incredible amount of snow.
No, thank you.
Yeah, we're good.
But we'll
good.
Pass.
Yeah, we're all good.
We gave it the office.
Yes,
that's right.
That's correct.
I went to college in Boston, you know, so I remember going through a few of those big whopper snowstorms, and man, they can hang on to that snow up there.
My daughter's there now, yeah, it's the same thing, and they are just buried.
They
A
are.
lot, yeah.
So see, everything being relative, we're good here.
We're doing
fine.
pretty good.
Sure.
We really are, especially right now. The snow is finally starting to move out. Take a live look at the radar, in fact, and you can see the evidence. Now, you know, the thing with this system is it's been trickling, and you can kind of see it to the south and to the west of it. It's just trickling in, little bits and bobs of snow. But right now, we do have a little bit of a darker blue there rolling through that northeast corner of the state, but that too is out of here. I wanted to talk statistics because I started making this graph when I first started working here about a month ago. Big difference now. Shoreline, normally this is between last July and now, you get about 16 inches of snow. You see the whopper of a year you had in 2011, the rather anemic year, which is 11 inches of snow you had in 2012. Well, we have certainly pulled up our numbers here. Now 31 inches of snow so far this season at the shoreline and 37.5 inches inland. And the average, by the way, inland is about 25.7. Can you imagine in 2011, they had almost 80 inches of snow in our inland communities. Wow. Well, we are thankfully about done with it. You can see a few snowflakes, though, still falling as we take a live look in Hartford, where it is currently 20 degrees. The wind is gusting around the state, blowing some of that snow around. Look at Willimantic, 22-mile-per-hour winds, Chester, 18 miles per hour, even in New Haven and Bridgeport, 24-mile-per-hour wind gusts that are blowing all of that snow around. So just be careful if you're headed out on the roads. Temperatures now in the 20s at the shoreline in Darien, 24 degrees. In the teens as we move further inland, so places like Bristol, 18 degrees, Coventry, 18 as well, and Colchester, about 19 degrees. 18 degrees for you in Plainfield over in our eastern side of the state, and Groton coming in at 23 degrees. And we're going to hold relatively steady there. Our temperatures will drop into the teens, but what we're feeling because of the wind is a wind chill tonight, where a good portion of the state is in single digits. So if you walk out the door in Windsor Locks, it feels like 5 degrees right now, a little better along the coast. In Greenwich, feels like 14 13, and Bridgeport about 10. But no matter how you slice it, that's still plenty cold. Taking a larger look at our system here, you can see that it is really tracking from the south and on that kind of northeastern trajectory. So that's why we could see some of those flurries continuing in the overnight hours, but the majority of snow obviously has already left us. And if we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, we start tracking this through tonight. Not only does it move out, but we clear out tomorrow, and we're actually going to get some sunshine, so we'll get rid of the clouds too. So take a look at our forecast for tonight. We'll get into those teens. We have those leftover flurries. That does mean that the roads could be a little bit slick, so just watch out for that. Big difference tomorrow. Here comes the sunshine. I think we all feel like we earned it, and we'll even get into the 30s, so we'll see a little bit of melting. Our winds still out of the north, but pulling back just a touch. But some sunshine for those poor folks that have been out there shoveling and just working so hard to clear all the sidewalks and roads. We do have more snow to look out for on Thursday, a clipper system rolling our way. How much snow still to be determined. The models are battling it out. Some want a lot, some not so much. So I will keep an eye on that for you. We'll talk about it a little later too. Arctic cold coming our way Thursday afternoon into Friday, setting us up for a very cold weekend. So Valentine's Day is this weekend, and I think we can officially call that snuggle weather. Let's talk about this Arctic blast, though, that's coming our way. This is Friday afternoon. These temperatures coming down from the north, and these are highs, and you can see that incredibly cold air, -20 to -1, those negative temperatures moving into Connecticut as we get into our Saturday and our Saturday evening and the overnight hours into Sunday. And look how far that cold air is tracking down. Not just the Northeast dealing with this. It's going to be unseasonably cold temperatures for a good portion of the country. So there's our beautiful weather tomorrow. Hey, sunshine, not bad in the 30s. Our clipper watching out for that on Thursday into Friday, and then incredible cold. So cold I had to write it twice. I said I would have written it 3 times, but it wouldn't fit on the screen. That's cold, cold, cold. And look at the inland temperatures. I mean, dead serious cold when it gets down to negative temperatures at night. -10. Look at that on Sunday night into Monday.
Hadn't been that cold around here in quite some time. 10 below.
So we've got a lot on our plate still.
Yep.
Thanks so much.
Carla, thanks. And remember, the Good Morning Connecticut gang will be here with all your news, traffic, and weather starting at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning.
And with the snow days comes a lot of photos that you send in through Report It. Let's take a look. This is Michaela in Waterbury. Her mom sent this in as she was starting to make an igloo.
There she's in there. Yeah, and this one we got from Dee in Shelton. She and others at her company got to romp around in the snow a little bit today. You see the fruits of their labor there.
This guy does not mind the snow and the cold one little bit. I think this is a dog. I'm looking under the snow there. This is Wiggles running around. This is from Christine in Waterbury.
Yeah, take a look. This one says it all too. Shopping cart out in the snow. You got to put it somewhere after you get your groceries. Yeah, big old snowbanks and some trouble there too. Let's send your pictures or video in to reportit@WTNH.com. You can also download our app for free for your smartphone.
You wonder how it got all the way up that high.
Well, just wait for it to melt. It'll come all the way back down.
Coming up tonight at 10.
We're going to show you all the big winners from the biggest night in music. We got a Grammy wrap-up coming up here when we come back in just a minute.
Well, it's in the books now, the Grammys, the fashion, and of course, Kanye West.
Yeah, he made some more noise at this year's show. CNN's Jeannie Mouse has a look.
There were the usual Grammy jokes. Comparing Rihanna's dress to an umbrella or a loofah, teasing Iggy Azalea about her hair. But when it came to Kanye West, what seemed like a joke, crashing the stage and upstaging Beck, had celebrities laughing at first, clapping Kanye's shoulder and craning their necks. But once he explained he was serious,
and Beck needs to respect artistry, and he should have given his award to Beyonce.
talk show audiences seem to be laughing at Kanye rather than with him or even dissing him. After all, this was the second time he's stolen a winner's moment of glory to proclaim Beyonce should have won.
Are you that egotistical or that needy?
Ladies and gentlemen, the ego has landed, posted one commenter.
Is that sick? He keeps making a fool of himself.
He steps in doo-doo.
He stepped in doo-doo.
Why does he always have to make it about himself?
One of Kanye's biggest defenders was Beck, who gestured Kanye back.
I need some help.
And later told Us Weekly, I still love him and think he's genius. Kanye's not just a polarizing figure, he's become a figure of speech. Inspiring expressions like Kanye pulled a Kanye and to be truly Kanye.
Why doesn't he have his own award show? Just call him the Kanyes.
He should.
Tweets and vines sprouted showing Beck's face captioned, "When you see Kanye approaching." Jay-Z and Beyonce's reaction to Kanye pulling a Kanye is all of our reaction to Kanye pulling a Kanye.
Somebody needs to tell him to sit down and shut up. Respect other people. Shut up and sit down.
Sit down. Commenting on Kanye or running for governor of New Jersey?
Sit down and shut up.
Jeannie Moe, CNN.
Shut up and stop.
New York.
All right. Listen, the texting and driving is already illegal here in Connecticut, but it looks like that law could be about to get some teeth. Just ahead here tonight on News 8 at 10, we're going to show you what some lawmakers want to do to our state's texting and driving law.
A nasty bug is floating around Yukon. Is it the flu? Some students wound up in the hospital. We'll have the latest on that. Here's Kyla.
It's me again. I'm talking about snow, the kind that's here and the kind that's on its way to us later this week. I'll detail it for you coming up in your full forecast.
All right, Colin. Tonight on News 8 at 11, caught on camera a high school basketball game that got way out of hand. Even some parents wound up in that fight. We'll show you more tonight on News 8 at 11.
You're watching News 8 at 10 on MyTV 9. You're watching News 8 at 10 on MyTV9.
The state's highest-ranking lawmaker has killed a proposal to bring video slot machines to the state's off-track betting facilities. The move, coming as an official at the Mohegan Tribe, said that any expansion of video slots would result in the state losing all revenue from the casino slots. Mohegan Chief of Staff Chuck Bunnell said the state's 2 Native American tribes had the exclusive right to operate slots. Any new operation of slots by anyone other than the tribes will make that agreement null and void.
Having increased slots over at OTB facilities in our state is not going to happen. The bill is dead on arrival.
Senator Duff also said that if there's going to be any kind of expansion of gambling, it has to be done in consultation with the tribes.
Expect to pay if you're caught texting and driving in Connecticut.
As several lawmakers have submitted bills now to toughen up our texting and driving laws. Right now, the more offensive you have, the higher the ticket gets. It could be going up now even more. Our Chief Capitol correspondent Mark Davis has that.
Should penalties for texting and driving be tougher? The legislature increased the fines for texting while driving last year. It's now $150 for the first offense, $300 for the second offense, and $500 for the third and subsequent offenses. But despite that, there are several proposals before the Transportation Committee to make the penalties even tougher. Representative Melissa Zebrin of East Haddam thinks the new fines are not enough, that license suspensions should also be considered.
Like that drunk driving laws, we have a graduated fine and then penalty system. And I think the Transportation Committee should be looking at doing something similar for texting.
Recent research has compared texting while driving to the dangers of drunk driving.
There's a lot of chronic use in the highways, and I don't think people really recognize how dangerous, a lot like driving while intoxicated, it really is.
But the chairman of the Transportation Committee says law enforcement continues to say that enforcement is difficult, that it may take a change in auto technology.
Unless technology kicks in, like the automobile industry that says once you put the car in drive, automatically cuts the cell phone out, and therefore you have to go right to your Bluetooth and you can't even text.
I'm Mark Davis, News 8.
Another bill being considered in Hartford right now would make it illegal to drive with a pet on your lap. The bill that is in the Transportation Committee right now would make driving with a pet on your lap distracted driving. The head of the Connecticut State Grange wants it to go further. They want the bill to require that any pet in a car be restrained in a safety harness. No word yet on that bill's chance of passing. Another bill introduced at the Capitol would create a new state holiday in honor of an aviation pioneer here in Connecticut. Stratford Republican Senator Kevin Kelly introduced a bill to make August 14th Gustav Whitehead First in Flight Day here in Connecticut. Whitehead claimed that he was the first to fly a powered airplane in Bridgeport 2 years before the Wright brothers did it on August 14th of 1901.
There is a nasty stomach bug going around up at UConn. Some say it came from the cafeteria food.
Yeah, it even sent 10 students to the hospital. News 8's Stephanie Simone was in stores today.
You didn't want to be in John Buckley or Lester Shippey Hall yesterday as stomachs were turning.
One of my friends was feeling a bit nauseous while he was walking up the stairs and he threw up.
I know my friend went to the hospital actually for whatever the illness was.
I went to check on my friend because she was feeling sick, so I gave her crackers. And then I went to the bathroom because I didn't feel good. And then there was like 3 other people in the stalls, and then people were running in. It was horrible. People were like running on every floor. All you could hear was people throwing up.
She says other students came to the rescue.
We have a few EMTs on our floor, so we're lucky.
A school spokesperson said they had a higher than usual number of illnesses this weekend. Students said hundreds were sick. The school says 10 were hospitalized. Extra cleaning crews came in yesterday to disinfect common areas, and students have to report to the RAs if they get sick.
We just pretty much wash our hands at all times, and that's what I've been doing. So luckily I haven't gotten sick yet, but I'm scared.
I've been always like washing my hands, taking more than 1 shower a day, so yeah.
Students we spoke with were disappointed the school didn't alert them about this.
It only takes a few minutes to type out an email for it.
Luckily, for some who got sick, it didn't take them very long to feel well enough to walk to class.
I'm feeling better. It was just a 12-hour thing, but it was just like the number of kids that are sick. Like, people are still getting sick now.
Stephanie Simone, News 8.
And just ahead here tonight on News 8 at 10, meteorologist Kyla Grogan has another check on your forecast.
I do. I've got good news, sunshine and 30s in your forecast, and I've got not such good news. Incredible cold air coming our way. I'm going to time it out for you, both the good and the bad, when we come back.
And the Huskies win again. We'll let you know where this puts them in the rankings. That's on Sports Edge.
And tonight on News 8 at 11.
Hartford, New Haven, even the state running low on snow removal money. Coming up tonight on News 8 at 11, the plans to revitalize the budget as the snow continues to fall.
Game. She did not play well.
Okay.
Well, let's focus on tomorrow. The good news is tomorrow.
Sunshine. That's something
sunshine
good, right?
and happiness.
And 30s.
For a day. Right. Yeah. Okay, that's what I got.
We'll just talk about that, and then we'll.
Let's just stop there. Why should we even go on?
We shouldn't.
Let's talk about Thursday. I want to talk about Thursday too.
Okay.
We'll worry about tomorrow.
Okay, let's do it. In case you want to know what's coming your way, let's go ahead and do it. Hey, right now, here's some good news. It's not snowing in New Haven.
Okay.
22 degrees. When we walk out the door tonight, we could see a flurry or two, but most likely will not, as we are pretty much wrapped up and done. You can see our little icon there not showing any snow, but here are the flurries that are still rolling on through the state. So not seeing the dark blues, meaning the heavier snow, but it's still there. And hey, we got some impressive snow totals. Look at this. Wolcott got over a foot of snow. Cornwall, 11 inches, 10 inches in Tolland. Weathersfield, 8.5 and 7 inches for Meriden and New Fairfield. By the way, WXEdge.com if you want to see a whole big list that Kevin put together of all the snow totals around the state. Temperatures right now in the teens and 20s. Teens if you're inland in places like Norfolk, 17 degrees. degrees, Granby 18, Bristol 19, East Hartford about 19, 20s if you're down at the coast, and for Westport 23 degrees to North Haven about 21, and you can see in Greenwich down in North Stamford they're about in that 23-degree range too. Wind speeds are still part of the equation tonight, so because these winds, and this is the wind speed in New Haven right now, 20 degrees, you know, you factor that in with the temperatures, and all of a sudden, your 22 degrees in New Haven feels like 7 degrees when you walk out the door. So these are the wind chills, and you can see that it is single digits over a good portion of the state tonight. Feels like 5 degrees in Windsor Locks. Whoo, that's getting down there. But the reality is our temperatures will only get down into the teens tonight. We do have those flurries going on, so the roads could be a little slippery. Be careful with that. The wind is certainly making us feel a lot colder than it is. But tomorrow, this is the good news. Ready? Let's just enjoy this for a moment. 32 degrees at the shoreline, 30 inland, a little melting, and yes, you see a blue sky. Even the winds will pull back a touch, so at least we'll have a little bit of a break tomorrow for those of you who've been shoveling and doing all of this hard work to get the snow taken care of. Now, maybe the not so good news. We have an Arctic blast of cold air, incredible cold air, coming down, and this is going to be Thursday night into Friday. There's your Saturday at 6 a.m. That's a high for the day. Negative temperatures coming into Connecticut for our weekend. So that's Valentine's Day, and my advice is snuggling, lots of snuggling, very cold. You need someone to snuggle with. As you can see, these temperatures don't just come into New England, they're actually heading pretty far south too. So something to keep in mind. But again, we're focusing on the good stuff, and tomorrow sunshine and 30s, not bad on Wednesday either. Should be a nice dry day, and then we are watching out for our next potential snowmaker, a clipper on Thursday, an incredibly cold air coming in behind that system, and it is, oh boy, single digits for the lows at the shoreline, and we go inland and we get into the negative temperatures. So we're not going to worry about that today, but we are going to worry about that starting Thursday evening. That's my prescription.
I'm not worrying anymore because it's not helping.
There's a lot to worry about, that mess right there. Look at that.
I know. It's a very active pattern, and there's been some talk about me bringing the weather, and I do apologize. I'll try and get you some sunshine in here. I want it to.
We blame you. Let's be clear.
Oh, no.
For what it's worth, I'm worrying now, but that's just with my people. That my ethnicity determines that
you
I
worry all
worrying.
the time.
You know, it's
you
part
should
of what
worry.
we do. We
I'm gonna
worry.
jump on it.
Hey,
What's coming up in Sports Edge?
We're going to talk about UConn basketball. It's #1 versus #2. The Huskies in the odd position of being #2. It's not going to be that way for much longer. Yeah. By next week, it'll all change. But yeah, because the Huskies won tonight. We'll show you how they did it, beat South Carolina. We'll have a live report from Gampa Pavilion as well coming up next in Sports Edge.
All right, thanks so much.
Oh, thanks. That'll do it for News 8 at 10.
That was next. Good night.
With them? Okay.
Look at what I sent you and see if there's anything.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
She did not play well.
Oh, I didn't even see a play button. I thought pictures. Okay. Are you leaving? You sure you want to do that? Yeah.
How far away are we?
John, can you hear me? He's got a shirt on. I just need to know if he's got an interview so I can let you guys know which B-roll to run. Breanna.
Hey, Kel, can you go down? You know what Pat looks like, right? Yeah.
Stewart.
So we're about 3 minutes away.
Just, you know what, just put...
see if, check, 1, 2, 3, 4,
so
5,
what did she have, 22 points for Breanna Stewart tonight?
Bring
22
somebody
points.
Up there. Hello, hello, hello.
I don't know if that's who he's going to have. I'm looking to see if I can tell.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. K-A-L-E-E-N-A. Then it's Mosqueda, M-O-S-Q-U-E-D-A.
Hey, when does the highlight?
It's not your typical sports show. It has an edge. We're on the web, and we're on TV.
Keep it going! Win as a team. Now let's go get them. Come on.
With Noah Fins, John Pearson, and Eric Dobratz. Pull up a chair. We're talking sports on Sports Edge.
Well, hello and welcome to Sports Edge. Number 1 versus number 2. UConn has been involved in this kind of matchup before. Tonight, the Huskies are ranked 2nd, South Carolina 1st. Well, that'll change. Yeah, by next Monday, the UConn women's basketball team should be ranked back at number 1. The Huskies start the week at 2. But in a featured nationally televised game, knock off South Carolina tonight. That is Mariah Jefferson doing some work with the basketball. You see these moves she makes one way, the hesitation, then the other way, and she helped unknot an 18-18 tie. So South Carolina came out strong. Then the Huskies start to put some distance between them. A 16-point lead at halftime, thanks to plays like that from Breanna Stewart. Good defense as well. She had 5 blocks in the game. But hey, to start the second, South Carolina cuts it to 10. Enter Kalena Mosqueda-Lewis, who starts firing those 3-pointers. One after another. She ends up with 5. Such a dead-eye aim from the outside. And that helps extend the lead. The Huskies get up to as many as 25. In fact, well, that's the way they end it. Beating the number 1 team in the country, 87-62. John Pearson was sitting courtside for all the action and joins us now live from Gampel Pavilion. How you doing, John? A lot of excitement.
Hey there, Noah. Yeah, wow is, I guess, all you can say after this performance tonight by the UConn Huskies. A 25-point win over number 1 South Carolina. UConn will take over that number 1 spot, no doubt. And joining us now, one of the stars of the game, Breanna Stewart. That was quite a performance.
Yeah, it was. I think that, the way we really, took it to them. They couldn't handle us, and, a lot of people really stepped up tonight.
At what sense do you realize you have this game in control and time to put your foot down?
I think we could tell it was late in the first half when we started to make a run, and then, we got momentum going into halftime. And, they scored a few buckets in the second half, but, once we really pushed the pace, they weren't able to keep up.
A lot was made about you and Morgan spending a lot of time on the bench against Memphis. Did that motivate you two at all in this game, or overhyped?
I think, it was both. It did motivate us just because, nobody wants to sit on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to sit on the bench, and, we understood his message that he sent, and, we need to send a message back that that's not the type of players we are.
He said this wasn't a statement game, but was it? Because it sure seemed that way, the way you guys played.
Some people can look at it as that, and I think it's just, a huge test for both teams late in the season before things kind of really get serious.
Last thing for you, because I know you're getting chilly and you got to get downstairs, but Mariah Jefferson, I know you were in double figures, Morgan, Kalena, but Mariah seemed to be the engine that drove this thing tonight.
Yeah, the way she really carried our team and, controlled the tempo of our team was great, and, that's what you want to see out of your point guard.
Are you sure you want to keep talking? I know you love interviewing with me.
Bye, Noah.
Oh, bye, Noah. See, Noah, you got a goodbye.
All right. Hey, John, you said a 12-point win tonight. 25. John said it could be double digits, and, well, he was right. 25-point win over the number 1 team in the country. Hey, not to be ignored in the state, the Quinnipiac women's basketball team. Bobcats have now won 11 in a row, haven't lost a game at home. 1-1 up on the hill this morning, beat defending MAC champ Iona. The Cats real psyched for this one. Iona, though, has this player from Connecticut, number 14 there, D'Amica Martinez from Meriden. She's like a globetrotter, passing the ball, dribbling the ball. She can shoot it. She's a candidate for the award given to the top point guard in the country. 21 points and 7 rebounds and 5 assists today. But Quinnipiac's Samantha Gostella did one better. Costello had 23 points and 10 rebounds. It was her three-point shooting down the stretch that lifts the Bobcats to the 85-74 victory. NBA action, the Knicks lose in Miami to the Heat. Carmelo Anthony with a big game for New York, 26 points tonight. This bucket gives the Knicks the lead, but it was brief. Chris Bosh, the recipient of nice passing, scores here. He goes off for 32 tonight. And the Heat beat the Knicks 109-95. UConn football names a new offensive coordinator, Frank Verducci. Been in the game a long time in the NFL and in college. In fact, he recruited head coach Bob Diaco out of high school. He worked at Florida, Notre Dame, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Cleveland Browns, just to name a few. All right, coming up, because we have to take a break now, indoor lacrosse. John takes us to the box to match his skills against Connecticut's new lacrosse team. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, I think it's safe to say that college basketball is the king in Connecticut, but I'll tell you, a sport that is growing in interest and in participation is lacrosse. And now we have this indoor lacrosse. Connecticut has a pro team now, been playing up at the Mohegan Sun. Our John Pearson wanted in on the action with the brand new New England Black Wolves.
I think we got a GoPro in there, and I think I'm just going to kind of crush it.
Okay. Yeah, we got more. Don't worry about it.
Fortunately, we had other cameras in the building to document this day.
Playing in arena, having it packed, and obviously our sport is full contact. We have a lot of scoring, we got fights and everything. Yeah. The energy can really get to you, and the adrenaline can just get going. It's awesome.
You know, it's very cool being here with a new opportunity, new franchise. It's awesome to play for a team that, you know, supports you so strongly as they have.
Kevin Crowley and Kevin Buchanan are two of the Black Wolves' best players. They make the game look easy.
It's a very intense sport, and it takes a lot out of you. It feels like almost like a boxing match because you're getting hit and you got to move around, and it's a really great cardio.
This is a physically demanding sport.
It's a really great game and actually combines, if you will, probably the best way to describe it would be like kind of a hockey mentality with a basketball mentality. And I think that's where you see it across the country just really gaining its popularity.
There's so much to learn about the game born in Canada and now taking root in Connecticut.
People, once they're introduced to the sport, they fall in love with it. And one of the coolest things for me is to see a dad come up to me and be like, oh man, I played football, I played baseball growing up, but if I had lacrosse, I would have put my kids in it automatically, or I would have played myself. You hope the sport keeps growing and they come out here and support the professional lacrosse players.
Crowley is from Canada. He was the sport's top draft pick in both the outdoor and indoor leagues. When it comes to the box version of lacrosse, the best Americans, guys like Buchanan, are doing their best to keep up with the dominant Canadians.
So to try to fit in, you add A to every sentence? Or no?
A lot of A's, yeah. You definitely catch up on the lingo from the Canadians. About. Pardon?
On this morning, Connecticut Style's Ryan Christopher and I did our best to keep up.
You ready to get taught a lesson?
Yeah, let's do this. Look at these guys. Oh. Look at those pants they're wearing.
Getting people in the building is all part of selling professional indoor lacrosse. Just watch out who you let in.
Once people come in and view the game, they really will. They'll really enjoy it. It's very entertaining.
Entertaining, unless, of course, you pair up a couple of the world's best players with a couple of the worst.
We're going to kick Pearson's butt.
Playing on a third of the field, we got to work. And boy, was it a workout.
What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. I'm good.
All right, come on.
We also picked up some of the finer points of the game.
Real quick, teach me how to butt in somebody.
Well, you got to slide it down here and give it that way. It's more subtle.
Goals, there were some. First team to 5 won the game.
Oh, there he is! Bury it! Oh, no! Oh, nice catch. Oh, well done.
Goal!
Oh, take it to him. Oh, nice. I got ball here. Oh! Wow. ISO. Look at that ISO. Wow, crease side, baby.
Come on.
All right.
For part-time athletes, these guys aren't bad.
Good try, youngster.
I tried.
No, not us, them. Crowley and Buchanan, who both also play in the outdoor professional league, hope their sport can one day be big enough to make a full-time living.
We don't play full-time. The sport's just not there to support us to be full-time players. So we do have jobs on basically, Monday through Friday, if you will.
During the week, they stay in shape and in contact, so when the weekend rolls around, they're all on the same page. There's no room in this sport for beginners.
We, in the interest of time, cut out John making Ryan Christopher run a lap at the end of the game. John's team won, for whatever that's worth. Hey, they play on Saturday nights up there at the Mohegan Sun. Thanks so much for tuning in. Once again, the UConn women's basketball team knocks off #1 South Carolina at Gampin Pavilion. We'll have more on the victory coming up on News 8 at 11. That's where you should be heading now. Ann and Darren are waiting for you. We'll see you over there.